Welcome to All Things Internet, a show where we talk about things we see on the internet that usually have to do with the internet, and Emily tries her gosh darndest to fact check and research whatever she thinks I will find relevant in that moment. I'm Rachel Ballinger.
I'm Emily Brostaff.
And this is now beginning. Emily, how are you?
Thriving.
Always. The dog here today with us, because there's always a dog with us, is Daisy, which is Emily's dog, because Daisy's decided to not function as a dog this week and is having extreme separation anxiety. So she's, to fix that, she's laying on Emily's lap.
I don't know what to do with her anymore.
When we're filming, we have to just let her do what she wants or else she'll whine, and my job is more important.
My job is more important.
Yes. All right. I'm great. Thanks for asking.
I like how you never take a pause and then you just keep going.
Yeah, because I can't have dead air. That's boring.
But you got to give me a second to interject. Okay, let's practice.
I'm interjecting again. I need this cropped when we're editing. Me saying this can stay in.
Okay.
But it needs to be cropped. So before you deal with the audio, people can listen to. This is how the internet works. This is how editing works.
Yeah.
So when it's all big one thing, crop it a little bit.
Okay.
Because I didn't angle the camera right. There's a lot of space over here.
Would you like to go fix the camera?
No, because I want you to do it in post.
Okay.
Takes 2 seconds.
Okay.
But now the people watching know that you've edited this in post.
Yeah. No, we never edit anything. We just film and slap it online.
Do you know how many my breaths Emily has to take out because I go all the time?
I've learned how to recognize them on the sound waves.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
that's how I edit.
Yeah, I don't have to listen anymore. I see a certain bump in the audio and I'm like, oh, she's breathing.
I wheeze.
You do wheeze.
I wheeze a lot. I'm a wheezer.
Okay, we're gonna practice.
It's a great band.
We're gonna practice a pause. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2. Say something and then pause.
I'm Rachel Ballinger, and I'm the best.
We pause. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Okay, let's go.
You're just like, da-da-da-da-da. Thanks for asking, with no breath taken whatsoever.
I actually never say thanks for asking. I just start talking about myself without needing anyone to ask me anything.
I'm gonna do an instant replay of literally 2 minutes ago.
I did it this time. I'm saying normally.
And last time.
I did it last time?
Yeah.
I thought you did it last time.
No.
Yeah, well. I took a pause. You didn't say anything, and I'm gonna keep talking. The thing is with people, they bore me if they take too long to speak. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep speaking then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a great way to make friends.
I have a lot of them. They don't go away. They just keep showing up, and then they bring dogs. And it's a whole thing.
It's true.
So clearly what I'm doing is working.
Charming. I love it.
I am charming.
You are.
I know.
Yep.
All right. What's in the news today, Emily? I'm pausing.
Thank you so much. We have corrections from last week. So
what'd you mess up?
Billie Eilish is not 19. She's 20.
Oh, whoa. Apologies.
How dare I mess that up? And then with the whole Adele thing. Adele, the internet is torn. And we got several comments of people being like, it's not Adele, it's Adele. So anyway, I can't even tell you the amount of videos on YouTube I watched last night trying to understand how she's pronouncing her name in a different way than the way that we normally pronounce it. I can't hear it.
I will never be able to hear it.
Well, according to Twitter, it's not Adele, like Uhdell. It's pronounced Adele.
No, but I'm gonna not at all what she said.
No, but it's because she says it in a British accent. So she's like, Adele. Like, that sounded Southern. I don't know how to do a British accent. But
I was going to attempt it, then the Southern was in my head too.
But it's not Adele and it's not Adele. It's just Adele, but in a British accent. So
I'm going to need her to just record it for us.
Over and over and slowly and then sped up and then normally.
I need it from her mouth because I'm not going to believe anyone on the internet. I need it from her mouth.
Agreed.
She does not need to do this. This is not her thing to deal with. It's her name and we're stupid. But if I want to pronounce it correctly, but I need it from her mouth because I know the internet just decides things.
Right. Because when that article first came out talking about last week about how she went on that talk show and was saying, oh, she said my name right and it's pronounced Adele. The article was saying, yeah, we've been pronouncing it wrong. Her name is pronounced Adele.
It was Huh. And so I went
D-E-L-L.
Yeah, I was like, Hadel.
But then the article this week was like, no, it's pronounced UH-DALE, which would be Adele.
Adele.
I don't know. I'm just gonna not, because I don't know what to say.
Confused.
We're all confused.
I want to do it right, and I'm not having the opportunity to do so.
Well, this got me down a rabbit hole last night because I was reading all these articles trying to figure out how to properly pronounce her name, and then this article from E! News came up, and apparently there's a whole slew of celebrities whose names are just like always pronounced wrong, but they've just stopped correcting people because they're tired of it.
Yeah.
So like, star of Mean Girls, how would you say her name?
Lindsay Lohan?
Apparently it's Lindsay Lohan, like W-E-N, Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan?
Lindsay Lohan.
Says who? I'm going to start saying, says
who? Says Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, well, if she says it, then it's right.
And then who plays Jacob Black in Twilight?
Oh, a Taylor Lautner.
Okay, you got that one right. Yeah. They say it's pronounced like Lowtner.
Well, how are people...
Lautner? Lautner?
Taylor Lautner?
That's what it's spelled like. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we already talked about Ariana, but she purposely changed that. Okay, this one. John Legend's wife.
Chrissy Teigen?
Apparently it's
yeah. I knew this. It's Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah. And then who else do we actually know? Star of Mamma Mia.
Oh.
You got this.
Oh God! I almost said Marilyn Monroe for some reason.
I mean, honest. I thought you were talking about Meryl Streep. I got those two mixed up right now.
I have no idea.
First name is Amanda.
Oh, the only Amanda I know is Bynes. And I'm saying that one right.
I'm putting that on a throw pillow. Okay, so everyone pronounces the star of Mamma Mia. Her name's Amanda Seyfried. Everyone pronounces it Amanda Seyfried.
Well, I did not know her name.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently it's Siegfried. Amanda Siegfried. Okay. So there's just all these celebrities that we've been pronouncing their names wrong, and either they've just stopped correcting people or they just never corrected people in the first place.
I think they probably just never corrected people in the first place. Everyone always pronounces my last name wrong to begin with. A lot of people say
it wrong.
Bollinger. It looks like Bollinger.
Okay.
It looks like B-A-L-L, which people pronounce ball.
Right.
I-N-G, ing, E-R,
Yeah.
Bollinger.
Okay.
And that so I'm not upset or hurt or annoyed when people do it, but if it's just in passing, I won't correct.
Okay.
But if I know the person, they're gonna stick around. I make a point to say my last name in front of them, not correcting them.
Right.
But be like, I'm Rachel Ballinger.
Just set the tone.
Right. Like, I'm Rachel Ballinger. Like, I can do anything or something. I'll say my full name in front of them within like that day.
Right.
If I know like it's not just like, in passing. But I can understand like when someone's like thrown into fame, like Taylor Lautner. You know, the people just started saying Lautner, and he's like in the middle of an interview. He's not gonna be like, "Excuse me,"
right?
Like he's gonna be confused and be like, "Okay,
yes,
you don't know how to say it. That's fine."
Legally changes his last name.
Exactly. So I could see if someone's like just like starting out in fame, they don't quite know how to deal with it. And then I guess some of my sisters put the name out there before me, so like people kind of know it more often,
right?
And when people ask me, I'm like, "Oh, everyone thinks it's Bollinger, but it's actually Ballinger. It's not a big deal."
Yeah,
I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. So I can see how like at the beginning when people like a talk show host announces you're not gonna be like you're you're scared.
Right.
You don't know. Those people act like they have confidence, but they're actors.
Right. You'd think before an interview they would ask how to pronounce things.
Yeah, but like, Jimmy Fallon doesn't have the time. He does go and meet everyone beforehand, but like I don't think he sleeps. So
same.
I don't think that's happening for him to be able to just be like, okay, I will remember everyone's name.
Like send like a stagehand or something to go write it down like phonetically and then bring it back.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. So yes. In other news, this is not corrections from last week. This is brand new news. Well, not brand new, but brand new to us. So here we go. There's some drama going on between Selena Gomez and her friend
her kidney transplant person. Yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm. So last Friday, Selena Gomez's documentary called My Mind and Me released onto Apple TV, which I would just like to take a quick poll. Who watches stuff on Apple TV? Like, it's either Netflix, Hulu, HBO. But like,
I go there to rent movies.
Really? I've never known.
I rent movies on there because like I'll be like, oh, this movie just released. I don't want to go to the theater. And it's expensive to rent movies. It's like the $20-$30.
Ew.
So unless you have like a giant group of friends, it's actually sometimes cheaper to go to like Dollar Night on Tuesdays down at the local theater.
Huh. Interesting. So anyway, her documentary just came out and onto Apple TV, and immediately the internet was buzzing because they noticed a small comment that she made during the documentary, but it had huge implications. So at one point, Selena says, doesn't say that. At one point, Selena says, I never fit in with a cool group of girls that were celebrities. My only friend in the industry is Taylor Swift. And if you didn't know any better, this would be like a pretty harmless comment.
Yeah.
Right? Like, who cares? But for some background, back in 2017, her best friend of 10 years, who is also an actress, named Francia Raisa.
We don't mispronounce names here.
Ever. Donated one of her kidneys to Selena after Selena had been diagnosed with lupus, and you know, lupus attacks your organs, and so it was shutting down her kidneys, and she needed this life-saving transplant, and so her best friend of 10 years volunteered to give her one, but her best friend is an actress. She's in the industry.
Yeah.
So, during an interview, Francia, my dog needs to move. Here we go.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There we go.
She's caught in the microphone cord.
I love that for me. Okay. So when Selena was telling Francia back in 2017 that she needed a kidney, she wasn't asking. She was just basically complaining to a friend about how she needed a kidney. Like, this is really scary. The wait list is like 10 years long, you know, yada, yada, yada. And so, of course, Francia, being a really good friend, was like, oh, well, I'll go get tested to see if I'm a match. And she basically said in an interview later that the words just kind of vomited out of her. She didn't have like...
It's an impulse to help.
Right, exactly. Like, if you said you needed something, I'd be like, okay, like, without even like thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll give you a kidney. Why not? Yeah, of course.
Right,
exactly. I don't want you to die.
Right. So after testing, Francia said that she was kind of pressured into donating her kidney to Selena because the doctor that was running the matching tests to see if she was like a viable candidate, instead of calling her and saying that she was a match for Selena, the doctor called Selena.
Which is not allowed.
That's not allowed. So the doctor called Selena and said, you know, your friend is a match for you. So then Selena ended up calling Francia, who had no idea. She thought the results were still like about to come in a few days. She called her friend and was like, hey, we're a match. This is great news. Like, this is exciting.
Let's do this.
Right. So instead of like figuring out that she was a match, having time to process that to herself and think about like whether she wanted to donate this kidney or not, Selena already knew. Selena was already expecting, and Selena called her. So she was like completely blindsided. And then she said, of course, she went through with the decision to give her the kidney, but she said her recovery was horrendous.
Yeah, and she explained it that like Selena was getting something her body needed.
Yeah.
Her body, the friend's body, something was being taken away that the body was using.
Yeah. So she said she couldn't like shower on her own, couldn't walk on her own for a few days. So like Selena wasn't exactly like, you know, up and jumping and bumping, but like she at least was feeling a lot of relief and feeling a lot better because now her body was able to function the way it needed to.
Yes.
Meanwhile, she was like bedbound and, you know, having a really hard time. And she said that Selena was like super grateful and gracious about the entire thing. And she's like, even Selena posted an Instagram photo of them in the hospital bed side by side. And her caption was, there aren't words to describe how I can possibly thank my beautiful friend Francia. She gave me the ultimate gift and sacrifice by donating her kidney to me. I'm incredibly blessed and I love you so much, sis. So when the documentary aired and Selena made the remark about Taylor Swift being her only friend in the industry, it definitely like turned a few heads.
Yeah.
And what made everyone even more upset is they got through the end of the documentary, which I think was like 95 minutes long, and she wasn't mentioned once. So
what I read from an insider said that Selena got really tired of owing her friend, like feeling like she owed her friend constantly. Right. And because I read the friend's statement being like, I always wanted a family. Now we're family. We're bonded by blood and all this stuff. And it sounded like her friend really thought this was like it was a huge deal, but like it was like, we are bound forever now, and like it was like, okay, you owe me for the rest of your life, basically, is what I got from that. And Selena's like, you know, she got it and she was very, very thankful, but I think she probably just got over saying thanks. And like that can cause a strife in a friendship where it's like,
yeah, feeling like unbalanced, like uneven.
Yeah, and you eventually just have to let it go.
Yeah.
Like both sides.
Right.
And it just doesn't sound like they could.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that kind of sucks. Like, it really does suck that you gave someone your kidney and then you don't speak to them anymore and you're not friends with them anymore. But like, they were clearly friends before that. It wasn't like Selena became her friend to get her kidney.
Right.
Then,
10 years.
Yeah. So they were friends before. And then after that, I'm sure like it was an unbalance.
Well, like they were even posting TikToks together up until like 4 months ago.
So something must have happened.
Yeah, I have no idea. But then E! News posted a quote of Selena's from the documentary to their Instagram page. And the quote said, "This friendship, it comes naturally." And it was a picture of Taylor Swift and Selena together. And Francia commented underneath it and just put "interesting," period.
So she's causing drama.
Yeah. Well, she like immediately deleted it because that's what happens is you do stuff out of anger and then realize that it's going to cause drama. So she tried to delete it. But as we've discussed, once it's out there, it's out there. You
can't do that.
Yeah.
If you have an issue with someone, discuss it privately. Always.
Yeah, right. So then Selena fans came for Francia and started saying that clearly Selena was talking about people in the music industry and not people in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And so she was basically like, why would she mention you being her like a second friend in the music industry when you're not a singer? You know, just basically trying to come up with like any excuse they could. And then someone made a TikTok video about the entire situation, about like basically how crappy it was that Selena like ditched her friend like this and didn't mention her.
Well, we don't know what happened behind the scenes. We do not know.
Yeah. Well, then Selena commented on the TikTok and said, "Sorry, I didn't mention every person I know in the documentary." And people were mad that she did that.
She shouldn't have posted. I saw that she did that. She should not have said anything. But it clearly, from my point of view, I don't know what happened, but I'm seeing that Selena's like, oh my God, I'm never going to live this down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if I don't constantly praise her, constantly talk about her, and then she's like, I'm like, I can understand being like, I'm done. I'm just not going to speak of her anymore. Like, I'm over it. And then when people get hounded, I'm like, oh my God, leave me alone about it.
Right.
Like, I can see that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe. Again, we do not know what's happening behind the scenes.
So there is like a whole Reddit forum that was created to basically crap talk Selena and like the poor decision she's making. And someone wrote, every person I know, like quoting Selena being like, sorry, I didn't mention every person I know. And so they said, every person I know, how about the one person who gave you a part of her literal body?
See, that's too much.
Yeah. They said, think that name might be on the tip of your tongue. And then someone else said, Selena, you just lost me. That girl risked her life to save yours. Send her a effing text and talk it out like an adult instead of making a snappy response on TikTok. So, and there have also been some rumors, like even just a year after the transplant happened, there were some rumors. It was never like she came forward and said. It was more of like, you know how entertainment magazines and websites will be like an insider source told us, but they won't reveal their source. So take it with a grain of salt. But apparently back in 2018, Francia, an inside source that was close to Francia, said that she was unhappy with Selena and that they were like feuding because just a year after she gave her the kidney, she like was seeing all these paparazzi photos of Selena like drinking profusely. And then Selena was checking herself into like a mental health facility. And Francia was basically like, I went through all of these horrible things and like changes to my body and surgeries. And you're just...
So here's the thing. She checked herself in a mental institution.
Yeah.
That's not Selena's fault.
Right.
The drinking. Okay. But also something that big. Well, I'm a giver. I'm a present giver. I love giving gifts and whatever. When you give someone something, you cannot expect anything in return. And you cannot control how other people act. So when you give someone something, and she gave her a freaking organ,
right?
Yeah, it's a huge deal. You expect a normal person to be appropriate about it or whatnot. But her giving that, it's hers now. And you cannot control her body. You can't control what she does. And we are humans and we're going to do what we want. We have free will.
Yeah.
And so it's a really crappy situation. Obviously, we'd want Selena to be, very like thankful and treat the people in her life really well. And the person who gave her an organ and it saved her life obviously should be treated very, very well. But as a human, like you have to realize as humans, her life can't be controlled by that friend anymore.
Yeah.
She is an adult and her own person. And if she wants to go drink herself under the table, that is her decision. You can't control that. And like, you can want the best for someone and you can be frustrated and mad, but like that's it. And like, so clearly they were starting to butt heads, and Selena probably started feeling, again, allegedly, we don't know what's going on, but controlled by that friend.
Yeah.
And like, let me live my own life.
Right.
And like, that's just what sucks so her friend should have thought about this. Like if you do donate something of that magnitude, you have to know that's the end of it. Like, you don't control anything past that. You give that organ to them, and that's why you have to. She should have thought about it more or had time. Selena should have bombarded her like that.
Yeah.
She should have been given time to really think about it, and they should have come to an agreement beforehand, being like, this is what it is, and like, this is how I'll repay you or not, and then like, that's just the end of it or whatever. Right. It's a big deal, and it needs to be handled really well, and I don't think people think about that beforehand.
Yeah.
They just go, I'm going to give you this and it's going to be great and we're going to be bonded for life, and like,
because
we're best friends.
I'd be like mad too, like if my best friend needed like a kidney and I gave her one and I went through all of that and then I saw her like read it, I'd be mad too. But like, that's a
human reaction.
But that's why you need to think about that.
That's why exactly. That's what I'm saying. You need to think about it, because while the anger is valid.
Yeah.
That is completely valid. You can't.
Yeah.
She is her own person and she's going to do what she wants.
Right.
And that's something you either just have to accept or you have to step away.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard.
Yeah.
And the mental health stuff, she has no right to be upset about that.
No, like that's not a good thing.
Yeah. So like, but the alcohol, like obviously, yeah, like, but if they had put in a contract, like, hey, you have to respect your body after this.
Yeah.
But like, again, that's Selena's body. You can't tell her what to do. And I'm not saying what Selena's doing is correct at all. I'm just saying like, this is the huge deal with that kind of stuff.
Right.
Is you can't control other people. And when you give a gift, you can't expect anything in return. And it didn't sound like either of them were in the mind space to understand what was going to happen or how to deal with it once it was.
Yeah.
And like, that just sucks.
I feel like you should have to go through like counseling first.
Yes, you should.
Know?
Yeah. Just donate an organ, that's a huge freaking deal. Like, she risked her life and saved her friend's life in the process. And then got really frustrated when she didn't feel like she was getting what she needed, what she deserved back.
Right.
And like, that just, it sucks.
That should be like mandatory. Yeah. If you're like donating or doing something huge, like donating an organ to like a family member or someone you know, like you should have to go through counseling with them to talk about expectations.
Yes. Yeah. Because also like, we go through friends in life.
Yeah.
We all grow and change as different people. And so like, sometimes you grow apart, sometimes you grow together. Sometimes you end up just having a huge fight over something really stupid.
Yeah.
And that's just what happens. So like, if you're going to donate something, you have to know going in. And if you're going to receive an organ from someone, you have to know going in, it can get really messy.
Yeah.
And then to have the public in on it never helps.
No.
Not all. Again, I'm not siding with how Selena dealt with anything. I'm just saying like, this isn't just so easy. Like, well, she gave you an organ, you owe her for life.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Right.
Anyway. Is there more? Because we need to go to a sponsor.
Yeah, sponsor.
All right. Let's check to see if we have a sponsor today. Sponsor. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Unfortunately, life doesn't come with a user manual. So when things aren't working out for you, it's normal to feel stuck and not know what to do next. But lucky for you, therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions, and they help teach you productive coping skills, which means therapy is honestly the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you. I've been in therapy a while now, and I absolutely love it. Even when my life isn't chaotic and I don't feel like I'm stuck in a certain emotion, and if things are still gliding through, I still love to do my weekly or my bi-weekly sessions that make sure I'm being the best me possible. Everyone deserves to feel their best, and BetterHelp makes it easier to get started. As the world's largest therapy service, they've matched millions of people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. There's no waiting rooms, no sitting in traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist, because they make it super easy to switch and free to switch at any time if you aren't vibing with the therapist that was assigned to you. If you want to learn more and save 10% off your first month, then go to betterhelp.com/allthingsinternet. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/allthingsinternet, the name of the show. And we're back. Go.
Okay, so one of TikTok's biggest stars, Bella Poarch, just revealed that she's been married since 2019 and is now getting divorced. So for some background, Bella posted her first TikTok back in April of 2020. And like, I have never seen someone skyrocket that fast to fame. And now she has 92.4 million followers on TikTok and is like producing her own music. And she just like, she doesn't really do original content. She'll take like, that's the reason she got so famous, is there would be like a cute little song that she'd come out, and in her video she'd either do facial expressions to it or she'd do like a little dance to it. And now she does like vlogging on TikTok, but it's like whatever. And so she seems sweet. It's just
you have no negative to say.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's just neutral. But I know people are going to be like, what does she do on TikTok? And I don't know what to say. Like
and it's not a bad thing. Like, what do I do on TikTok?
Right. Follow trends. Which is what she does.
Yeah.
So no one knew that Bella was married or even in a relationship because her husband was never mentioned on social media. So not on Twitter, no pictures or videos of him on Instagram. He wasn't tagged in anything, and she never wore a wedding ring. And then she even appeared on the H3 podcast back in 2021 and admitted that she had been single for about a year. And in the episode, Bella said that she hasn't been in a relationship for a year, suggesting that her and her husband that she's now just getting a divorce from had been separated since 2020, since they like got married.
What?
Yeah. Because
was it a green card wedding?
That's the rumor.
Oh,
but
okay.
I disproved it. Me, myself, and I it's all over the internet. But yeah, because Ethan Klein, who's the one that runs the H3 podcast, he said in there, you're now eligible for The Bachelorette now, right? And she kind of just like shimmied over the question and like moved on. So from all of this, allegedly, they got married back in, what did I say? 2019. And then by 2020, they were already separated, just not legally divorced.
Okay.
According to this one segment on H3 podcast. But yeah, since the news came out that she's getting divorced, there have been some rumors circulating that she only got married to obtain a green card because she was originally born in the Philippines.
Oh.
But if anyone did a 5-second Google search.
Yeah, guys. Duh. Don't make up stuff.
God, how old is Billy? Anyway, she would have found that she was adopted by U.S. citizens at a very young age, and she's even served in the U.S. military several times.
Yeah,
so, like,
obviously.
Right.
Why didn't you know that about the military, too?
God. So then...
Just assume it's a green card?
Oh, my God. According to Entertainment Tonight, Bella went on Instagram on Tuesday where she promised fans that she'll address the divorce from her husband, Tyler, when she's ready, because now we know his name. But there's still like people are trying to find pictures of him or info, and it's really hard. So she said she's going to speak about it when she's ready. She said she's taking a break from social media and going to let her team take over her platforms for a little bit, just to like keep content pushing out.
Yeah.
And she ended up writing, because a lot of people are upset because when you have almost 100 million followers on social media, people feel, and we've talked about this several times, they feel entitled to know every aspect of your life.
Yeah, so they feel lied to.
They feel lied to. So there were several fans that got, like, huge groups of them that got mad because they're like,
you've no right.
Right. They're like, well, we've had a crush on you, and we've been, you know, you've kept this from us, and how could you lie about your life?
She didn't tell you to have a crush on her. She didn't say, I'm going to date you.
Right.
You have no right.
Right. But of course, there's always going to be someone that's mad. So she posted on Instagram before she took her break, and she said, I'm sorry if everyone thinks I've been keeping a secret. I will address my divorce when I'm ready to speak about it. In the meantime, please respect mine and Tyler's privacy. My team will be taking over my socials and posting certain obligations that need to be fulfilled. I will be taking a break from social media. Thank you, Bella. So, and then people got a hold because divorce records most of the time are public record.
Yeah, so I was going to say her marriage should be public record.
Yeah, so someone already got, well, like even on TMZ, BuzzFeed, and Entertainment Tonight, they got a hold of the record, and it said that she cited, I can never say this word, irreconcilable differences. Irreconcilable differences. Irreconcilable differences.
Irreconcilable? Irreconcilable. Hold on. How do you? We gotta Google it. There is someone out there that was like, you freaking women. don't know how to say anything.
Peak women knowledge. Okay.
Hold on. How do you say it? This word pronunciation. Pronunciate. I couldn't even figure out how to say pronunciation. Hold on. Irreconcilable.
Still can't say it, but that's what she listed for the reason for divorce.
I can't say. I'm gonna say it right here because I have to really think about it. Staffordshire, American Pit Bull. Staffordshire. I always go Staffordshire.
I just go Staffy.
Staffordshire.
And
like people go Worcestershire. Worcestershire.
I worked at a steakhouse for 2 years, and do you know how many times I had to say to the table every single day, multiple times a day, would you like some Worcestershire sauce?
Worcestershire sauce.
Anyway.
Sorry.
All good. So allegedly, Bella did not, again, this is allegedly, Bella did not get a prenup before getting married because when she did get married, she had no internet fame, no money.
Why would you?
Normal person. And so why would you get a prenup? And now, because she lives in California, which is a 50-50 split state, she's worth
everything you've earned since you've been married.
Exactly. And she's worth $12 million. So technically, if she did not get a prenup, which again is alleged, but I kind of believe because why would you? Tyler is entitled to $6 million.
And they were married for a good 1 year, and then they've just been separated for 2.
Yeah. So, yep.
Maybe if she can hire good lawyers, being like, because what it's supposed to be is the person gets used to the lifestyle, and like if he doesn't have a job and she's the sole income, like, and he's helped her build that,
right,
or whatever, like whether it's not like, at the work, she's not writing emails for her, but like taking care of the home, being a part of it, being her muse,
right?
Uncut Gems. So that's what it's supposed to be. So like it's supposed to protect like housewives when they're like husbands just up and leave. They're like, well, I haven't worked in years,
right?
I've been taking care of you in the house,
and the kids.
Yeah. My resume is empty. Like I've done all this for you, so you could go off and whatever. It's supposed to be for that. So if they've been separated for 2 years and she can prove that. And she's got good lawyers, he might be only entitled to like for the year that they were living together.
Or maybe just like basic alimony.
Yeah. If he, and that depends on if he quit his job. Like for me, I'm like, it's situation to situation.
Yeah.
Like if he quit his job and was fully taking care of the house and her and was helping her with everything just behind the scenes, then I think he is entitled to money.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah.
But if he didn't do any of that, he kept his job, whatever, I'm like, then... if he didn't have to sacrifice anything, I don't think. And then same with women. Yeah. I'm either on both sides of the board. Like that's just how I think. I think it's there to protect people to not get screwed over, but I don't know their situation.
Yeah. No one does.
No one does.
No one even knew she was married.
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of relationships and families, Nick Cannon.
God,
stop it. Get some help.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
It was just announced that Nick Cannon is now expecting his 12th baby.
12th child.
Which makes 5 babies this year. 5.
Stop it.
Stop
him. It. At this point, you're not even being obsessed with being a dad because there's no way you can be there for all these kids.
No. The memes that are coming out about this are freaking hilarious. But so we just found this out like a day ago, right? That number 12 is on the way.
Yeah.
We just found out last week that number 11 was on the way. 5 days ago. Like 5 days before it was announced number 12.
What are these women doing? Do they know like, oh, if I just get impregnated by him, I just get a bunch of money?
Will they though? Because if you divide whatever,
he's
like,
worth a lot.
You think?
He hosts a lot.
I wonder. Okay.
Hosts make good money if you're a celebrity host. Like he's done, what is it? America's Got Talent. And I know he's done stuff with JoJo. He hosts Nickelodeon stuff a bunch. And he's had a bunch of movies. He had his own TV shows.
Okay, I'm trying to look up his net worth.
Go for it. You can't find it?
It's giving me 45 million.
Okay. So take that with a grain of salt. That's anywhere between 30 and 60.
So that's 3.7. If you were to divide the 45 million by 12 children, so he gets nothing. Let's just say the whole 45 million goes towards the kids, which would never happen. But, they each get 3.75 million. So maybe they all get $1 million. I don't know.
Yeah, but also that's what he's made. He has invested his money.
Yeah.
He's worth a lot more than that.
Oof. Yeah. All right. So maybe, but like, here's the thing. Are these women like poking holes?
No, I think doesn't want to wear a condom.
How dumb. Like, do you think they're lying about being on birth control?
No, I think he's fine with having all these children. I think he's totally fine with it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Because at this point, after the 12th, or maybe after the 11th, don't you think he'd be like, I gotta get a vasectomy?
You would think.
But I think he really does like it.
Do you think he's that narcissistic where he's like, yeah, I want to spread my seed?
I don't know. This is all allegedly.
But
I can't imagine him being against this and it continuing to happen 12 times.
12 times.
That we know of.
Yes. Oh my God. Allegedly. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, if you need a good chuckle, go look up Nick Cannon baby memes on Twitter. They had like tears were streaming down my face this morning. One of them, because like a bunch of them, it's like pictures that you would have to see in order to like laugh about it. But one of them's like Nick Cannon getting messages from all of his children on Father's Day. And it shows the message icon on an iPhone and it says 128 missed messages. And then another one's like Nick Cannon taking all of his kids to school. And it's the back of a minivan and a bumper sticker that says, hella kids in this van, honk if one falls out. They're just like, there are hundreds of them and they're hilarious.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. And not so, I guess, would you consider that light news?
I don't think any of this, I mean, Nick Cannon stuff was, but I don't think Selena Gomez was.
In sadder news, Aaron Carter passed away last week at the age of 34. Yes. We didn't cover it in last week's podcast because we recorded on Friday and he passed away on Sunday.
Yeah.
Or on Saturday, excuse me. So on Saturday, police were called to his home in Lancaster, California, and it was reported that police officers found containers of compressed air and prescription pills at the scene. And the official cause of death has yet to be announced, although it's been said that he died from an accidental drowning in his bathtub. But an official cause of death hasn't been released because it's pending toxicology results.
Okay.
And Aaron, there's a big rumor circulating right now that like online that this was an attempt or like it was a successful attempt. And Aaron Carter's family has come forward and they are adamant that that his death was not intentional. So according to TMZ, who spoke to his family, they said Aaron couldn't wait for the holidays. He was planning on spending time with both his girlfriend Melanie and their son Prince, and that he had also set up appointments with a family counselor and social worker, which he knew would help his chances of becoming like a more involved parent and keep on the sober path and all that kind of stuff. And law enforcement also says that they did not find a suicide note at the scene of Aaron's death, but that there were cans of compressed air and prescription pills. So it's looking like it was
an accident.
Yeah.
It just could have been an accident. And honestly, if that's what, and we're never going to know the truth about that.
Yeah.
And let's let the family have what version they want. Because we'll never know the truth. So let's just let them have that and stop trying to spread that it was an attempt.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter.
Right.
All that matters right now is his family's grieving process. So let's let them have it.
Yeah. And a representative came forward and basically asked that people respect their privacy and stop creating these rumors and, whatever until like the official reports come out and just to give them their space.
Yeah. We know that he struggled with addiction for a very, very long time and mental health for a very, very long time.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize how bad it had been.
Yeah. I forgot about him for a while. I was obsessed with him as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about him. And then he randomly followed me on Twitter one day.
What?
And I was like, oh my God. And I looked into him and I was like, he is struggling.
Yeah.
And so I've known him for like a few years that was kind of what was going on. Child stars. He was like, especially the first rounds of them.
Yeah. So back in 2019, he did say that he had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar, manic depression, anxiety, and was taking medication to treat his illnesses. And
schizophrenia?
That's what he said, because he went on the show called The Doctors in September of 2019.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all hard, but that one is.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom that.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what he reported. And then since then, and especially in recent years, the police have conducted a bunch of welfare checks on him.
Yeah.
Especially like due to his mental health and, just making sure that he was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Okay. So YouTuber, beauty influencer, guru Nikita Dragun just got arrested in Miami. And at the time that I was writing this was being held at a men's facility prison, but has since been released. So if you don't know, Nikita is a transgender influencer, male to female. And after she got arrested, she was being held in a men's facility despite being legally female on her paperwork.
Yes.
So according to NPR, Nikita was held in a men's unit of the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center in Miami, and that she was facing charges of misdemeanor, disorderly conduct, felony battery of a law enforcement officer. And court records show that after being jailed for at least a day, she was released on her own recognizance. And she was I'm going to go with allegedly, because until official reports come out.
Okay.
Allegedly, she was arrested after causing disturbances at a hotel. Allegedly, she was walking around naked at the pool, and then
Fully?
Mm-hmm. And like being really loud and disturbing everyone. And then at some point, the hotel security staff got her to go back up to her room. And that's when the police showed up, because someone called the police, because when you have a very loud, naked woman walking around a pool,
yes,
the police are going to get called. And when they knocked on her hotel door, she basically opened it and then slammed it in their face. Then they knocked again and she opened it and threw water on them.
That wasn't the smartest decision in the world.
It was not. So then, of course, she got arrested but then got put in a men's facility. And one of Nikita's representatives came forward and said, the situation with Nikita, who is legally female, being placed in a men's unit of a Florida jail is extremely disturbing and dangerous. This decision made by the Miami-Dade County Corrections Department directly violates protocol, which mandates that transgender inmates are classified and housed based on safety needs and gender identity. Nikita is now released and safe. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a human rights issue.
Yeah.
Like, if she was, she was doing wrong at the hotel.
Yeah.
Like, if she were truly walking around naked.
Yeah.
And causing if she was just in her bathing suit being loud, that's no reason for an arrest. But if she was walking around naked, the hotel had every right to call the police. She should not be throwing water at anybody. So yeah, I understand that all. The second apparently, I saw it on the thing on the arrest record, they put her as male.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I read that where
Ew.
they said even on the official like arrest records. That's why when she went on with the judge says, "What pronouns are you?"
Yeah,
because she is a woman. She looks like a woman.
Yep.
Whatever you want to say a woman looks like.
Yeah.
Nikita very much looks like a woman. That doesn't matter.
Right.
Her personal documents say female. She's
Right.
been legally changed as female on the government.
Right.
And on the arrest record and it says male, and then she was in a male institute. So the judge went, before we begin, what are your pronouns?
Good.
And she said she, her, and she went, oh, okay.
Yeah, but then didn't Nikita?
She said, can I please, like at the end of it, she said, can I please be transferred to a female? And she goes, well, she's like, you're supposed to be in a separate area.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to be with the inmates.
Right.
Because I believe in Florida, I don't know Nikita's body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she has the parts she was originally born with or not.
Right.
But I know that in Florida, if you have say a penis, how do I go about
male
this?
appendages.
If you have male appendages or whatever, you will go to a male institute. And if you have a vagina, you go to a woman's. That's how they don't do it based on what.
That's nasty.
But I don't know Nikita's body, so I do not know what's going on there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened, but it's
whether
not
they're
okay.
Being like transphobic or whether they're following protocol. Like, yes, I guess
Like she looks like a female, stereotypical female.
Yeah.
She has boobs.
Yeah.
She has a figure of a woman, and to throw her in a male's jail.
Oh, you're like literally a walking target.
Yeah.
Like you are absolutely 1,000% a walking target.
Not just the inmates, but also the guards.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes that's worse. Well, people got so mad at this whole situation that the prison had to send a representative forward to make a comment because people were like, what is wrong with you?
Thing.
And they said all inmates undergo our intake process and remain in an open seating area in the presence of correctional staff. Additionally, inmate Nikita was placed in a holding cell by herself due to her high-profile status before being released, and she was escorted by an LGBTQ officer during her time at the corrections facility. So there's conflicting stories because she's coming forward and saying that she's being held in a men's correctional facility, which implied that like she was with the general male population, but then the jail county is coming forward and
well, she could have been in she wasn't a male's correctional facility. She doesn't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So even if she was, they did all that right.
Yeah.
Imagine the fear.
Oh, of being like just dumped. Like,
yeah.
And being like, here
like
you go.
One time, yard time.
Yeah. Ooh.
Or
yeah.
like, okay, you got to go shower.
Shower time.
Or like anything. Like, she doesn't know what's going to happen. So maybe nothing did happen. We don't know.
Still
but
terrifying.
that fear of being like, please just put me into safety.
Right.
Because she's literally living in fear the entire time she's there.
Right.
So I don't know if anything happened, but I can imagine that the fear of like, I don't know what the next hour is going to be.
Yeah.
So that's inhumane.
Right. Yeah. So thankfully she's out now, but still like the trauma of being literally in direct danger the entire time.
And also I hope she gets whatever help she needs because the way she was acting was not appropriate behavior. And I hope that is resolved because that wasn't okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for your good news?
Please, for the love of God.
Okay. So according to Good News Network, a driver who took a wrong turn was able to save the lives of 4 people after driving down their street. This seems to be a thing that happens a lot and like not in a funny way. It's weird. She took a wrong turn, drove down the wrong street and saw someone's house on fire and noticed no one was standing out front. Like all the lights were off. And so she was like, oh, there has to be people trapped inside. So a doorbell camera actually captured the moment that, why did I say she? It was a guy. My bad. A male.
Do not misgender.
I know. I don't know. I must have typed an S in front of the he by accident. Anyway, so yes, a male driver who took the wrong road, whatever. He saw a house that was on fire and their like, I'm assuming it's like a Ring camera captured him jumping out of his car, running towards the house, banging on the windows, calling 911. And he basically said that the fire was getting bigger and bigger by the second. And so he knew he couldn't just like wait and like do nothing. So his quote was, I just felt like somebody was in there because it was so late at night, you know? I just knew that I had to act quick. And on the video, he runs in and eventually you can see the 3 kids that were inside running out through the front door. And then the oldest sibling who was 22 that was watching them, they were obviously all asleep when this happened. He can be seen coming out too. So he saved all 4 of them.
Wow.
By
Good
going
for him.
in. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So then in this week's segment of Why Does This Not Already Exist?
Oh my God.
Researchers have designed a way to get flocks of birds to get out of aircraft's way they created a drone that is shaped, sounds like a falcon because other types of birds are terrified of falcons.
Yeah.
And so they've created this drone that looks like literally in the pictures, it was really hard to figure out that it was a robot and not a drone. It looks just like a falcon and they basically fly it around the airspace and like the airfield and the runways to get all the birds to clear out because when the birds fly into the engines, it's like you can create a crash. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they teamed up with the University of Groningen in the Netherlands to
again, we never mispronounce names here, Huddle.
We got this to create the artificial falcon, and they started field testing it in the Netherlands, and it was it deterred all the birds, and that's
really cool. Again, why wasn't it existing before? Also, how can they hear that? Planes are so loud.
I think what they do is they clear it before the planes take off. Like I know in other countries they use dogs, like runway dogs, and the runway dogs will chase the geese and birds off the runway first, and then they'll recall the dog, and then the plane will like taxi and take off. So I'm assuming that's what happens.
Huh.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
Short happy news. A new blood test. It's called the Galleri test. I literally no. It can detect up to 50 cancers.
Inconceivable.
Incandescent. This test, whatever it's called, can detect up to 50 cancers that don't, like when you're not showing symptoms yet, from a single blood sample.
That's amazing.
Yeah, instead of getting MRIs and CAT scans, and you can test for 50 of them all at once. And
that's nice.
Really nice.
Because like early detection is like the best thing you can do.
Exactly. Okay. So even when you don't have symptoms.
Yeah. All right.
Doctors in Canada can now prescribe time in nature at a national park to help with people's mental health. Why can't I have this? Hello?
You can go walk my dogs whenever you want outside.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And a drone saved its first heart attack patient in Sweden by delivering a defibrillator. Thank you. 3 minutes after the emergency call came in. So an ambulance couldn't make it there quicker, so they sent a drone with a
defibrillator.
And it got there in 3 minutes.
Did the dude have to do it on himself, or were there other people with him? Defibrillators
have instructions. Have you ever used one?
No, but I was saying, was the hiker by themselves, or was there people with them?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like
I assumed someone else. I assumed someone else was with them. But yeah, what's it called?
A defibrillator.
Thank you. When you turn it on, it shouts instructions at you.
For real?
Yeah, they're really cool.
That's legit.
Yeah, so it'll be like, please take the pads and place them, and it tells you where to place the pads, and it's like, now clear the victim, and like it tells you not to touch, and then it's like, shock coming in 5, 4. It's really legit.
I've never used one, and I hope I never have to.
I'm gonna make you take a first aid and CPR class with me. Yeah,
I'd love it
because they teach you how to use those in that class.
Yeah, safety first.
Safety first. Squirrel fact. Bringing back the squirrel facts.
My mom is gonna be so happy.
Yes, squirrels fail to recover up to 74% of the nuts they bury, and so this. Basically, there's all these studies coming out where they're trying to prove that squirrels are single-handedly repopulating forests with their lost nuts.
Believe this.
Right?
Squirrels are punks, but they're cute and they're doing the world good. I believe it.
I love it.
I absolutely love it.
Really cool one. There's a bunch of tattoo artists. There's like a new movement going on around the tattooing community where they're offering free appointments to cover up any racist tattoos that someone might have on them.
Love that.
So it's a no questions asked appointment. So if you have any type of bad symbols or phrases on your body, they will cover it up free of charge.
That's amazing.
Love it. And last one.
Sorry, that was not a good thought I had. I was going to say, like, someone wants a really cool tattoo, but they can't afford it, so they get something really tiny that's not okay on their body.
If I didn't have the same thought.
Okay, don't do that. I was just thinking, I was like, how could this go bad? That's how I always think about everything.
I'm just going to like get butthead tattooed on me and be like, ah.
I think they would just say that's not a negative thing. That's just stupid.
Yes. They're going to be like, please leave, ma'am. We're going to call. Last happy news is there's a startup company that's using AI, so artificial intelligence in supermarkets to gauge and change the prices of their produce based on how long it has to last. So if you were to go in,
cool.
Right? If you were to go in on like a Monday and a new shipment of bananas came, they would cost like $3 a bunch. And let's say it's Wednesday and they're starting to get a little less green, they'd be like $2.50. And by the time it's like next week on a Monday and they're like starting to brown spot, they'd be like 50 cents. And so
to get rid of it. And
yeah.
So that's cool. That's smart.
Yeah. I thought it was brilliant.
Cue everyone just going in on Monday.
Right.
The last Monday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Is that everything we have?
That's
I feel fulfilled.
Me too.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like it. Rate us. Give us a good little rating.
Yeah.
If you don't want to give us a good rating, please. You don't need to rate us. That's okay.
You can just move along.
Just, that's fine.
We're fine.
But please follow us on any platform. And I love you. I'm Rachel Ballinger.
I'm Emily Brostaff.
And you're beautiful. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of All Things Internet. Please make sure to like and follow our podcast on whichever platform you're currently listening to it on. And make sure to follow us at Podcast ATI on Twitter, where you can ask questions and get the latest updates on our show. We love you. Thanks for listening. I'm Rachel Ballinger, and this has been All Things Internet.